G'day everyone. So I've just finished my third week of training, so we're now 7 weeks out from my target marathon. This week has been a bit of a odd week. So I've done a total of about 55 kilometers and started off really well with Monday, going after a bit of tempo work. Still struggled to maintain that balance between the tempo at about the 5:10, 5:15, and then backing off to that sort of 5:35, 5:40, which is I want when I slow down. I'm still struggling with that transition and tend to still be overcooking in both areas, so doing sort of 5:05s, and then when I slow down, doing I think it was like 5:20 or something this week. So I'm still pushing myself too hard there and trying to work out that balance, but hopefully slowly getting better. We'll see how we go. It's something new to me at the moment, so it's just sort of getting that set up. I do find that if I take off fairly slow at the start of a run, I find it easy to maintain a slower pace. Whereas if I tend to take off pretty hard at the start of the run, then I tend to, even when I do try and slow down, I very quickly go back to running a harder pace again. So still trying to juggle that and see how we go. But at this stage, I'm still actually enjoying the tempos. Whether they're helping or not, I don't know. I guess I'll find out in a few weeks' time. But yeah, definitely something I'm still juggling and trying to get the hang of. On Tuesday, I ran with a mate. He asked me to come along in one of his runs for a loop at the back of where we work, and it's a really nice scenic run through it. It's sort of like a trail. It's not a technical trail though, it's a fairly straightforward trail. It's just nice scenic run, bit of hill work, and that fits in with me anyway. My Tuesday run is normally a hill run, so that was, I think it was a bit short, so about 8.5-ish Ks, but again it was a really nice run. Good hill work and good bit of speed work because he's a lot faster than me. So the first loop that we did of the run, where he sort of showing me the track, we're just chatting away, and then the second lap was me just trying to keep up with him. So that was a good fun run, and looking forward to doing that more on Tuesdays if we can, depending on hopefully our shifts align to be able to do that. Wednesday actually had off this Wednesday, so that was a nice cruisy night for me. No running, just a bit of stuff around after work, so that was all good. And then Thursday, Friday, again with some hill work and a little bit of tempo work in there as well, just in the flatter areas. Tend to get those really done a little bit, but again, as a 10k run, and I maybe 2k's of it, just pushed myself for a little bit. Didn't go flat out, but yeah, just sort of tried to see what sort of pace I could hold through a flatter section, and then just backed off to the normal pace just to make sure I cruised through the run without overdoing anything. What else we do? Oh yeah, and then so as discussed last week, I was going away for the weekend, so I went away to Halls Gap, which is like a mountainous area, middle of Victoria. So Saturday I got out for a nice run there, headed off, I don't know, late morning-ish I think it was. It was planned to do about a 20k run. It was quite a strange run though. I happily cruised along the first about 15k's, feeling great, no issues with pace, sort of sitting around the 5:35-ish I think it was. But yeah, no issues with how I was feeling. I was feeling really good. And then as soon as I turned on to running the trail, it was like a path off to the side, which I thought would be a bit of fun. It was about 5k's or something, where you loop back around into the town. And straight away it was a technical trail. Rocks sticking out everywhere, dodging logs, and and they weren't just like little gravel bits. It was like big boulders and that you had to climb over. I found as soon as I hit that and I lost my pace and lost the rhythm on the path, I actually found it really hard to get the pace back again, and very quickly I lost all motivation to run. So I don't know whether that's just something playing in my head or something because I broke that rhythm, whereas normally on a road or on the paths you can just keep that rhythm rolling and just sort of tune out and let the Ks flow by, especially when you're feeling good. But yeah, this time as soon as I broke that rhythm, I had to sort of stop to a walk to climb over rocks and dodge logs and that sort of thing. I found it really hard to just get that going again, and I'd get to run for 300 meters and then I'd have to stop and climb over stuff again, and that just kept going for a few kilometers, and then once I finally got back out to the path where I could have got that rhythm back again, all motivation was gone for the run. I think in my head I'd already told myself that the run was cooked, and I'd basically ruined the run. So that's a bit of just sort of fighting that mental barrier where you just need to be able to tell yourself to keep going. So hopefully we don't do that again. I'm trying to stick to trails that I know at least where I can keep that rhythm going, and I don't have to keep stopping and starting, because I do find that once I stop running I find it hard to keep going again. And it's one thing to just sort of quickly walk through a drink station or something on a big run, and you quickly take a drink, and then 4 or 5 steps later you're running again, which is sort of how I go through the water stations now, because I can't drink and run, I sort of choke on it. So I might have to be a little bit more cautious or more careful on where I pick where I run, especially for those long runs, because at the moment with the last few weeks I've sort of been in and out of having that feeling good, feeling bad, and just trying to get that confidence back for the long run. So I'm thinking maybe this week I'm going to pick another nice cruisy run where it'll be maybe fairly flat, but just try and knock out a good sort of 20 to 25k run, and hopefully finish that feeling really good. So we'll see how that goes. But it's just the Saturday, like I said, it was feeling really good, and then just lost all motivation. So they sort of one area sort of lifted the confidence, and on the other side it took a bit of a hit. So you live and learn. Sunday I got home pretty late, but just took the dog for a run, because he didn't get his run for the weekend, so he's pretty important to get his run too. So we went out, and I think I ran a 8k fairly late at night, but he was happy, and it was a nice cruisy run. Felt good, very different to how I finished on my Saturday run, but it just felt really good to get that done. Nice sort of cruisy, I think it was 8.5k or so, doing, I think it was about 5:30-ish sort of per k, so that was nice to get run there too. So I did spend a bit of time over the weekend just sort of thinking about my training program, and I know it's probably a really bad idea to change how I had my plan worked out for these last few weeks, but I'm thinking I'm going to start pushing more for time spent running than time, just targeting a certain distance. So I think as I'm been getting quicker over the last sort of 2 years I've been running, when I used to say I'm going to do 10Ks, that used to be about an hour and 5 minutes or so, whereas now if I go out and run 10Ks, it's about 52 minutes. So that's sort of 10 minutes that I'll lose in my time at running, and maybe that's time training, however you want to look at it. So I think I'm going to go back to just doing especially for certain runs, like for my long runs, I'm still going to do that. It's targeting a distance as long as I'm feeling good. But for my short nightly runs, I think I'm just going to start setting it so that it's a 45-minute run, or a 1 hour, an hour run, or those sort of things. So not based on a set distance, because as I've gotten quicker, the time I'm spending running is shortening, and I think I'm spending less time on the legs. So I'm sort of rehashing that to see how it goes. A few runs I'm going to try that on this week, and if it feels good to just do it that way. Main thing for me is timing it so that the hour finishes when I'm getting back home, not that the hour finishes and I'm still 2k's away from home because I've mistimed how far I'm running or anything like that. So again, maybe not a good idea to change my training plan 7 weeks out from the marathon, but I'm not trying to win it. I'm just trying to get hopefully get a PB. If I'm really lucky, I'll break the 4 hours, but we'll see how that goes. And it's just something a bit different to maybe try and change rather than just setting at a set distance. The tempos, I'll probably still do those as a set distance, because I am just targeting to run for that kilometre, then back off, run for that kilometre, then back off. So I'll probably keep those the same, but for all the other runs through the hills and some of my longer flat runs and stuff, I'm just going to set it as that's a 1 hour run and do that. So they should then become sort of 11.5-ish Ks, something like that, I think, around about there. We'll see how we go. So yeah, that's my plan for this week. So that's about all for this week. Thanks for tuning in and watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Hopefully the training you're doing is going on really well, and as normal, if you've got any questions, just drop them below and I'll get to and answer those. Otherwise, again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next week. See ya.